Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Think Once, Code Anywhere. Today in this video we are going to discuss about temporal. So before that let's see what is a temporal. So temporal is nothing but it is used for long running process, or we can say it as a workflow. So workflow is nothing but, for example, consider Swiggy or Uber. So if we order something in Swiggy, so first our order will be getting placed. Post that the restaurant will be confirming the order. Then from the Swiggy side, they will be assigning a particular delivery agent to deliver your order. Post the delivery, this workflow process should get stopped. For example, this we can say it as a whole or long running process where it starts right from you, where you are the one who is creating the order, and then certain signals will be passed. Say let's say signals like order has been confirmed, then your delivery executive is on the way to pick up your order, delivery executive has picked up your order on the way and delivered. So these kind of signals is necessary for completing this workflow. So so in basic we can say a temporal is a workflow process, and workflow is nothing but it is a long running process. So let's consider this. So first you will be placing an order. So post placing your order, the restaurant will be giving a confirmation signal, and after the confirmation signal, Swiggy will be assigning a delivery partner for you. Post that the delivery partner will be picking up the order from the concerned restaurant and deliver the same to you. So this is how the long running workflow process will be defined. So it can be in a different way in Swiggy, or even it can be different in Zomato, or I'm not sure what kind of workflow process they are using, but this can be related with the same. So now let's see what are the requirements for a temporal. So first you need to have this admin UI installed in your machine. So if you don't know how to install this temporal, just read the official documentation from temporal site, which will help you to install this temporal server on your machine. So next thing is you have to understand about what are the files you need for running a temporal. So the file structure will include 5 important files for writing a temporal. So it starts with a configuration, which holds all the details about your temporal server, and also the worker. So worker is nothing but it is kind of, either you can say it as an interface or a class or anything you can call it as. So that worker will be responsible for executing the entire workflow. So the next file is the workflow interface. So the workflow interface is the starting point for your workflows, where it will be holding all the signals. So signals in the sense, here I can say placing order will be my main workflow, where I'm starting a workflow for myself, and other signal methods include something like confirming the order, delivery, assigning a delivery partner, or order picked up, order delivered, and so on. So next thing is workflow IMPL class. So first one is workflow interface, which will just have the methods declared inside that with certain annotations. And workflow IMPL is nothing but it will have the declaration for the workflow methods. And coming back to the next thing is activity. So in this workflow IMPL, directly I can't give any of my codes, let's say my business logic. So I need to have all my business logic in a separate file. So this IMPL will just have some await method or some other signal flows or other requirements which you can, and even you can hold this process for some time. Let's see deep when we are going through the code. And next is about the activity. So the activity is an interface which will be holding all the process that has to be done. Let's say all the business logics definition will be given here, and activity IMPL class will be holding all your business logic and business details. So like if you want to store some data into the database, then you will be writing your business logic exactly in this activity IMPL class. So altogether you need to understand about these 5 files for your temporal configuration. Now let's see the code structure. So already I have downloaded the Maven dependencies that is required for this temporal, and I'll be uploading this file in GitHub and share the link in the description. So please go through the source code. And here, coming back to your main code flow. So here I have created a package called as workflow.temporal, where you can see all the 4 files that is required for your temporal. So first one is a workflow interface, then we have workflow IMPL, then we have activity and activity IMPL, Similarly, I have created a configuration file for the temporal. First, let's see what exactly we have in our configuration file. So in this configuration file, first I have mentioned about temporal service address, and then I have given a namespace. So this service address is nothing but the one which I am using it here, and the namespace will be displayed on the top. So if you want, you can also create some new namespace according to your project or requirements. So here basic namespace is default, so I have utilized the same name over here, and this is the endpoint where the temporal server is running in my local machine. And we need certain beans that is required to run your temporal. So for example, the first one is workflow service stub and workflow client. So these two things will help me out in creating a connection with my local server or wherever you are hosting your temporal server. And then this workflow client will help me out in creating my new workflows and clicking on the signals and so on. And this worker factory is nothing but the person who is going to act as an intermediate. So I'll have this connection ready. So these two beans will be getting all my connection stuff ready whenever I start my Spring Boot application. And then this worker factory will be responsible for running each and every workflow instances. And next thing is you have to create a bean for your activity so that this bean will be working fine whenever you want to extract any activity from your main class. So coming back to your main application, so here I have created a factory, so worker factory for my entire class. So what will happen here is, so since I'm starting my Spring Boot application here, as we all know, this will be running each and every time. So along with that, during the time of starting our Spring Boot application itself, this worker factory will be created. So followed by that, I am utilizing my activity interface, which will again be used by this factory. So now I'm creating a worker and I'm using this factory to register my new worker. So this worker will take care of executing all the workflows, and the advantage is that you can have multiple workers inside your workflows. So I can have this worker which is responsible for my workflow, and next I can have one more workflow with the name as refund workflow or something else, and I can have one more worker, let's say worker for refund, and I can utilize a worker for doing the doing some other process. So it's like whenever you start your Spring Boot application, the worker has to be registered with the impel class which you want to run your workflow, and also the activities. So this is a basic configuration for your temporal. Now let's move back to your workflows. So in the workflow, I have just represented my queue name, and here the queue name I have mentioned is customer order, and this queue name will be displayed once you get into your workflow. So here you can see the queue name is mentioned as customer order. So similarly, we have a workflow method, and don't forget to give the annotation here as workflow interface. So since the workflow which I told you, the first file is an interface, we have to mention the annotation as workflow interface. Followed by that, we have one workflow method, and do remember, in one class you are supposed to have only one workflow method, but you can have n number of signal methods for a workflow. And here I do have three signal methods with the name as signal order accepted, signal order picked up, signal order delivered. Right? So I have three signals here. So followed by this, as I have told you earlier, we have workflow impel class. So this is a class and workflow is an interface. So in workflow IMPL, I have mentioned about certain retry options. So now I'll show you one demo. Post that we'll look at the code. So before that, I'll show you the controller ones. So I have added few endpoints here. The first one is going to be starting of your workflow, and next one is accepting the order, then picking up of order and delivered status. So four APIs are that, where it is just accepting some hard-coded ID values, and it is just calling the service with place order, make order as accepted, make order picked up, and make order delivered. So let's see what is there in the service. So inside this service, what I'm doing is I'm just creating the connection whenever your order is getting placed. So first I'll be just creating my order and then I'll be passing the signal. So first let me show you in creating process for your order. So first I'm just mentioning the number ID as 5. Let me click on send and it is showing me order has been placed. So let's see the logs. So in this logs, it is saying that order has been placed and next it is saying waiting for the restaurant to confirm your order. So now let's see if this temporal has been created. So I have only 4 orders. Now let me just refresh this and we can see order 5 which has been created just now. So let me, and one more thing, see here the status is in running and other workflows are completed. So let me open this and if you go to history, so in summary it is saying this workflow is running, and in history if you see compact, see I have just, it is showing only one activity has been hit and this activity is having a name as place order. So now I'll just go here and say order accepted. So where order accepted will be given, will be a signal passed from the restaurant side for accepting this order. So I'll just pass this. Now if you see the log, it is saying that restaurant has accepted your order. Please wait till we assign a delivery executive. Now let's just refresh this. So we can see order accepted activity has been triggered now. Similarly, let's move on with the next process, order picked up. So I have already mentioned the ID as 5. So let me send this signal now and it is saying order has been picked up. Let's see the logs as well. It is saying that order has been picked up. Now let's just refresh this and this time we are seeing set order picked up activity has been executed, but still the summary status is saying this is in running stage because the workflow has not yet completed, because order has been confirmed from the restaurant side, order has been picked up but it was not yet delivered. So now let's pass the final signal for making this order to be delivered. So I'll just move back to this order delivered API and just click on send. So now it is saying that order has been delivered and even in logs it is saying order is delivered. Let me see the status of this. So here now the final order number 5 has been marked as completed. Let's see the final flow. So here it is saying first incoming signal or first incoming activity is placing of order, followed by that order is accepted from the restaurant, then order has been picked up and then order has been delivered. So this is how the workflow process executes. So it's like a long running process. Same way you can also consider the Flipkart example. So you will be placing some order. So order will be shipped to the nearest hub of Flipkart and then it will be getting delivered to you. So it's like a long running process. So same procedure we are just following it now. So let us just walk through the code now. So as I have mentioned you earlier, I have just mentioned few APIs here, which is just having starting of workflow, then order accepted and so on. And I have added the respective methods inside my service and all the controllers will be taking ID as a param. So now let's move back to the service. So in the service, I have just utilized my workflow service stub and workflow client. So as I have already informed you, this workflow service stub and workflow client is a bean which we have created or we have instantiated during the time of Spring Boot starting itself. And then in this service, I'm just auto wiring these two classes and I'm going to use these objects. So first, whenever I'm going to place my order, I have to create a new workflow connection. So for this, I'm just passing that workflow ID, which we are passing it as a hard-coded value through Postman. And here I have written a method for creating my connection. So workflow options dot new builder dot set task queue. So this will just make your workflow allocated with this task queue name, and then you are setting your workflow ID. So here I'm just mentioning it as order underscore then this ID which I'm passing to this method. So here you can see order underscore 5, order underscore 4. So all these are a hard coded value which I have already mentioned. So followed by this, this workflow will be now returned back to this workflow class. So this workflow is a class which we have defined here. Sorry, this workflow is an interface which we have defined here, and this is going to be the starting point for your workflow. Now let's see the service. So from the service, after creating a workflow connection, we are just making this workflow client to start my workflow. So I'm just saying workflow client that start, and I'm just saying workflow, and this start approval workflow is nothing but the name which I have mentioned for my workflow method. So it can be anything you want. So next is how exactly the signals are getting triggered. So for making the signals to be getting generated, I have to pass my workflow ID and also the class for which I have created my workflow. And here I am using this new workflow step where this will utilize the worker to execute those signals. So followed by this, now let's see our workflow. So as you know, we have the workflow method and signal methods over here, and the workflow IMPL class is now implementing your workflow class. And here I have the start workflow method, and then you have the signal methods too. So I have three signal methods. So let me walk through the code how I have implemented it. So first, this retry option is nothing but for every specific time duration which we have mentioned here, it will check for the status of the order. If something is getting changed, then automatically it will move back to the next process. So here though, we have some await method. So what will happen is first your workflow will help you to place your order. Followed by placing of order, it will await here till the restaurant is giving you a confirmation. So once the restaurant is confirming this, so this is a boolean value. So workflow.await of is order confirmed, where this boolean value is maintained as false by default. And when I'm passing the signal as signal order accepted, this dot is order confirmed will be making this variable to be true. So when I find that workflow.await is equals to true, then it will automatically move the control to the next lines. So this is how a signal will get executed. And then what will happen is, so followed by this, it will say this log on the screen that please wait till we assign a delivery executive. So first we are placing an order, followed by placing of order, we are waiting for the confirmation from the restaurant. Once the restaurant has confirmed your order will be waiting for a delivery executive to be picked up. Once the delivery executive has picked up, it will wait for the final signal till it gets delivered. So these signals will be getting triggered each and every time whenever a work is getting done. So now let's see how exactly we have implemented this activity and activity IMPL. So now let me show you this activity. So in this activity, as I told you earlier, it is an interface and we have annotated it with activity interface, and we have few activity methods here like placing order, then set order accepted, set order picked up, and set order delivered. So now let's see where exactly we are going to write a business logic. Since this is a demo video, I haven't wrote any business logic, but here I am just displaying the messages like order has been placed, order has been accepted, and order has been picked up and order delivered. So this is how I have implemented a basic structure for your temporal workflow. Let's just go through the code once again and try to run this. So again we'll just go here and create a new order. So this time though, let me name this as new order, and let me just copy this. So now I have placed my order. Let me see if it has been placed here. Yes, successfully it is saying order has been placed and waiting for the restaurant to confirm your order. So if you see the code now in your workflow IMPL class, you can see I am printing this waiting for the restaurant to confirm your order, right? So after this, no lines are getting executed because your whole process is now waiting at line number 30 to be getting a confirmation signal. Now let me check that UI whether the new workflow has been created or not. So now you can see new order has been created and still it is in the state of running. And if you see the signals that is getting generated for this, or even you can go with this all and click on this signal, no signals have been generated so far. Now let me just go to this API and say order accepted, and I'm just passing this order ID as new order, and it is saying order accepted. And see, it is saying restaurant has accepted your order, please wait till we assign a delivery executive. Now let me just refresh this and show you. See, it is saying workflow execution signal, so one signal has been executed now. So set order accepted has been executed. Similarly, let's try for the remaining two. So now I am just saying order has been picked up. So here it is saying the status as order has been picked up. So this order has been picked up is getting printed from your activity IMPL classes. Now let's click on the last signal and make it delivered and make it to be in a completed stage. So still it is in running stage. So now let's go to the Postman and hit the last API like order delivered, and I'm passing the new order. So new order ID has been passed, and now it is saying that order has been delivered. So even in logs it is saying that order has been delivered. So now let's see the status of the workflow. It should be completed now. So now we are getting the workflow status as completed. Let's see the history once again. So it is executing all the activities and executing all the signals. That is how your workflow is getting passed. So we had three signals like order accepted, order picked up, and order delivered. So all three signals has been generated within this mentioned time limits. So this is how your temporal workflow actually works.